Chapter 2. Inside the lead Yukon, Ty Johnson checked his weapon, then the position of the other two vehicles in the side mirror. All good. Ty gave the signal for his driver to move over into the left-hand median and occupy a lane of oncoming traffic, which was momentarily stopped at a light. Blocking the junction allowed the other two SUVs to move up seamlessly on the inside, so Ty's vehicle was now at the rear and he could have a clear view when the passengers got out. Ty popped his head out the window and glanced behind. About half a block back, which in this traffic equated to a good 20 seconds, an up-armored fire-engine red Hummer rolled along. Inside the Hummer was the CA, or counterattack team, led by Vic Brand, a former colonel in the U.S. Marines. Ty knew that Locke had resisted their appointment. Normally, a CA team was the preserve of the military in ultra-high threat environments, and Locke had felt it was overkill. However, Stafford Van Straten, heir apparent to the family empire and perpetual thorn in Locke's side, had confused a stint in the Reserve Officer Training Corps when he was at Dartmouth with actual security expertise, and insisted on recruiting them, somehow convincing his father they'd be a useful addition to his security detail. Locke had no time for Stafford, neither did Ty, and they had even less time for Brand, a man who delighted in regaling the younger men in the CA team with his exploits in Iraq, many of which Locke had told Ty were fictitious. Ty, having checked with a few of his former Marine buddies, wasn't so sure. The close protection world was full of guys like Brand, serial fantasists who confused talking the talk with walking the walk. To Ty, a good bodyguard was like Locke, the archetypal gray man who blended into the background, emerging only when a threat arose. The way Ty saw it, Brand blended like Marilyn Manson at a Jonas Brothers gig. Locke watched as the protesters on the street were cleared 50 feet further back by the cops. If one of them made a rush, Locke would have Nicholas Van Straten in the boardroom with his decaf latte and a copy of the Wall Street Journal before they made it to the front door. The front passenger door of the rear vehicle opened first. Locke looked on as Ty made his way round to open the front passenger side of the middle Yukon for the designated bodyguard. As the rest of the personal escort section deployed, spreading out so that they had eyes on a full 360 degrees, the clamor from the activists rose in volume. "Murderer! Hey, Van Straten, how many animals you plan on killing a day?" The bodyguard, a lean 6'2" Midwesterner by the name of Croft, opened Nicholas Van Straten's door and he stepped out. For a man who got death threats the way most people received junk mail, he looked remarkably composed. His four-man personal escort section had already made a closed box formation around him, ready to move him into the building. But Van Straten clearly had other ideas. Taking a right turn behind the Yukon, he began to walk towards the source of the obscenities emanating from across the way. Locke could feel a surge of adrenaline starting to build as Van Straten embarked on this unscheduled walkabout. "Where the hell's Stafford?" Nicholas Van Straten asked one of his aides, who appeared to be having difficulty keeping pace as his boss made a beeline for the protesters.